Hi everybody, welcome to Inside Yachting. We have a VvS1 up for review today. This is a great boat, a real favorite of mine, so I'm looking forward to doing this. She's a 112 foot alloy yacht, full displacement, go anywhere boat. Great looking expedition yacht. There's nothing like her on the market. So let's get stuck in. Let's go and take a look. So I'll actually pause here for a second just to look at the profile shot here, because that's a great shot to see the huge hull sort of windows that they have in the side there. Now that's actually either side of sort of a forward lounge area. It's a bit of a different layout here. A very personal boat. It was built and owned up until this point by the same family. So really fits a sole purpose of global traveler. So we'll see that further in. So looking at the specifications here, 112 feet, 25 foot 7-inch is the beam, and the draft is 7'7". A lot of these you'll see in metric measurements, because she's actually just been shipped over to the Med to go under sail. She's brand new to the market. She's been in the South Pacific for her entire life up until now, and like I said, it's been shipped over to Europe to sell. So she was launched in 2007 by Alloy. Alloy is a very famous shipbuilder out of New Zealand. They build a lot of motorboats. They have a great style now of raised pilot house boats. You've probably seen them before with a sort of darker hull, almost sort of a gold sort of hue to the superstructure. There's one called Como, the other's called Loretta Ann. Beautiful boats, really hold their value very well. So this is an expedition style yacht. It's a full displacement hull. It is aluminium, but it does have full bulbous sort of bow. It's fairly drafty, 7'7" for the length, which is 112 feet. But it's an absolute beautiful yacht. Go anywhere, long distance cruise. It doesn't have high powered engines, 475 horsepower. Still push her along at up to 13 knots, but this is a very specific type of boat to get on and disappear off the charts for a good few months. She at the moment is flagged in New Zealand because they have been over there all the time. Obviously that's to a new buyer, that's their choice of where they're going to reflag it. It is full Lloyd's and MCA compliant, so that'll make it very easy to reflag wherever you want. The engines, great engines, 3406. All of the Caterpillar 34 sort of 36 range, they're all very easy to work on. Great engines. Anywhere you can go, you get someone to work on them, and also get the spares very easily. Now the fuel and water, you'll notice, is much higher than any other boat that we see as far as storage. Almost 9,000 gallons of fuel and 1,800 of water. It does have the water makers on, of course, but great storage there. Cruising speed is 10 knots up to 13. 8 guests in 4 staterooms, and it also has 4 rooms for crew. It's a long-range cruiser, so you don't want to skimp on the number of crew that we're using here. Now the asking price right now is in euros. I'll give you this approximate conversion into dollars, but obviously do your own conversions at the time that you're viewing this. And right now that conversion into dollars is $14,690,000. So let's move into the photographs. And the first photographs here are, you see these windows on both sides there. So on the first photographs, that's the batch of 6 windows that you can see clumped together there. So a beautiful hardwood floor, real nice open airy feel. It almost feels like an apartment throughout this boat. and considering the style of boat, looking at the exterior to the compared with the interior, it's a real contrast. It's such a good looking boat. You can see there on the top photograph they have a piano that folds down as well, so nice there for the entertainment. Now this is actually slightly forwards, as we saw on that running shot. So moving aft, it's slightly different layout here. So this dining room table is sort of midships here, and then aft of that again is this galley area. So as you walk in through the aft doors from the main deck aft, you actually walk alongside this galley. So it's a very unique layout. They have a nice breakfast sort of bar area there, and you know, it's a completely different take on things. It's nice that they have done that, because they now have the lounge sort of salon area up forwards to take advantage of those huge side windows, port and starboard. They're almost full deck height windows. So it's nice that they haven't gone with the standard, you know, name, rank, number type layout that 90% of other manufacturers go to. They've actually put some thought into this. All this equipment in the galley is all industrial class equipment. They obviously have plenty of storage there, and freezer and fridge storage for these long cruises that they make. In fact, they have used this exactly as they intended, and one example of that is they almost have 7,000 miles on the tender itself. So it's an incredible amount of use that they've used. Sorry, 7,000 hours. So this is an on-deck master as well, and we can see that here on the top right-hand photograph. That's the master cabin, on-deck master, and that's its bathroom there. They've continued the hardwood floors, sort of a very contemporary feel in here. No clutter or anything everywhere. It's just very pleasant space. So this is a 4-cabin layout, as I mentioned. So it has the master cabin, it has a forward VIP, has this double cabin that we can see here at the top on the left, and then the twin that's underneath it. All with the same sort of hardwood floors, all the same sort of fit and finish and feel here, that sort of contemporary look. On the right-hand side, move up into the wheelhouse. All of the equipment that you'd expect to see here. It is 2007, so it's fairly up to date with all of its equipment, and I know they have done certain upgrades from time to time. But you see there, everything's laid out. The chart plotter has AIS system, radars, sonar, all pumped into the screens that you see there on the helm station. What's nice about this is that they also have this great gym area that's behind the bridge, so it's perfect to go off and still be able to stay in shape, and I like it that it's up on this higher deck, so you have this beautiful panoramic view around all sort of windows around that gym. Now another nice feature of this boat is the Sundeck. It's a very unique top deck. Now it does have a big boat deck aft of the gym that can store the tenders, things once those tenders are in the water. You can remove the chocks and have that as a big sort of exterior deck space. So up on the Sundeck, this is a full sort of tri-decker. The Sundeck is where you have this sort of teppanyaki style dining area, and teppanyaki, of course, is where you see the Japanese chefs that cook in front of you, cook the tofu and flick the tofu up, and you're all sort of sat there in front of him and eating. So it's a great area. They also have a nice big barbecue up here. It is covered with this part sort of hard top, part bimini top, and they have a few sun lounges and things set up there as well, and a nice seating area up forward. So it's a really nice area. They also have a big fishing cockpit aft as well on the main deck aft, sort of around the swim platform. So it's a really nice sort of active layout to this boat. Active, I mean it's built for fishing, for snorkeling, for swimming, for diving, anything you want to do on this boat. It has some kind of feature there where they've thought about it during the build. So it's a great boat. I really like this boat. So here on the deck plans, they're fairly basic deck plans. They don't show too much detail, but we can get the general layout here. The top one is showing the main deck, so you can see the swim platform aft, the main deck, and then moving on to the interior, you actually cross through the galley, through the dining room, and then the lounge area is forwards, just before the master cabin. And then down below, all of the guest cabins are below and forwards of the engine room, and then after the engine room is the crew accommodation, which is nice. As we've seen before, it's nice to have the crew accommodation completely separate from the guest area, so you can have your own areas to relax. And most importantly is that it means the crew is right next to the engine room, so any alarms or any monitoring can be done right away, because you're right there next to the engine room entrance. Okay, so moving into the write-up, I do have a yacht pack for this. I also have a few other bits and pieces of information. I have some comps, so you can analyze the price of the boat within the general sort of market as it sits today. I also have some bits and pieces about the boat, extra information on the tender, and photographs of the boat in general. I've got some photographs of the engine room as well, which is always nice to see. So it gives you brief details here. I won't read out everything. As always, you can just request that yacht pack. Click on the button on the right hand side, and that will sort of lead you and explain how to get that. A few things that stand out me. The gymnasium here. It also sort of works as a cinema as well, which opens up to the aft deck, which is where the tender's stored as well. The teppanyaki style bar also has a seating area and lounges up there. It details that in this write-up. The navigation equipment, it goes through all of the sort of gyro interfaces for the navigation, sort of monitoring the GPSs, has the radars and the sounders, chart plotters there as well. Details all of the bits and pieces here. It is quite in depth in this write-up, so I won't go through everything. It's worthwhile noting that this boat, whilst it doesn't have zero speed stabilizers, they have done a full sort of inspection into what would need to be done to install the zero speed stabilizers, as far as the larger fins and the shafts and the equipment that's associated with zero speed. And what they discovered was that there's no major surgery that needs to be done in order to retrofit the existing stabilizers with zero speed stabilizers. So there's no hull reinforcement that needs to be done. The larger stabilizers can fit on the same shafts, and they can fit the actual larger hydraulic equipment and hoses and tillers and actuator arms that need to be fitted inside the existing spaces. So that's great news. I personally did a retrofit on a 188 foot yacht that went from regular stabilizers to zero speed stabilizers, and there was a lot of work that needed to be done. There was almost 4 months of work that needed to be done with reinforcing the hull and making spaces larger in order to accommodate the extra hoses and the larger equipment. So that's great to know here that there's no major sort of surgery that needs to be done if you wanted to retrofit it with larger zero speed stabilizers. So the hours on these engines are fairly high, but you'd expect to see that on a boat of this style, the expedition style boat. The hours are high on the main engines, but all of the planned maintenance and rebuild work has already been done. So these engines go for tens and tens of thousands of hours more than what's on them right now, so that shouldn't be a concern. The generators, fairly high on the generators in hours, but again, all of the work has been done. There was a major refit period done in 2012, and during that time both generators were rebuilt, and I can see here there's about 1,500 hours on the engines now since that major rebuild. So again, good to know that all the major work has been done. Details the sea recovery system for the water, reverse osmosis system. A water treatment plant is the Hammond, which is a Dutch manufacturer, very good top quality sort of equipment that they've used. And towards the end it details all of the services that they do between the different hours. All very standard stuff, and they probably just pulled that straight from the Caterpillar owner's manual, but it's nice to know that they do that. Water sports, that has the scuba equipment, also has the compressors to be able to top your tanks up on board, has kayaks, water skis, snorkeling equipment, and the wakeboards, everything that you would expect to see in a water sports facility is on this boat. The two tenders that they've got on board, I know they're very proud of these tenders. One is a protector, which they use a protector tenders for a lot of military and sort of Coast Guard work, so it's a very robust tender, and I think I remember reading somewhere that they have over 7,000 nautical miles just on the tender alone. And they also have a smaller crew tender with the 25 horsepower on the back. It details all of the maintenance work that was done in that yard period in 2012. So there was a full paint job of the hull and superstructure. So you've got almost brand new paint. The Lloyd's 5-year survey was done. That survey is an out-of-water survey, so all of the through-hull valves were done, the rudders and shaft seals would have been checked, anti-foul paint would have been done. I see they've re-galvanized the chain, they've replaced the tender pontoons, the generators were rebuilt, the main engines had their 5,000 hour maintenance done on them. And it details there that inspection that was done into the viability of replacing the sort of in motion stabilizers to the zero motion or the zero speed stabilizers. So she's really a ready to go boat. New paint, the interior's been well taken care of. She's set up for every possible water sports and activity that you can think of. Great equipment that they've used in the engine room or pumps throughout the boat. It really is a great example of a boat that probably isn't going to stay on the market for very long. So, as I said, I have the yacht pack ready to go on this one. I've already sent it out to a lot of people that have requested it. I have the list of comps so you can see its true market value. And I have some other photographs and things all ready to go. So please click on that Yacht Pack button, and I'll send it off to you right away. This is one not to be missed. Now, on the future reviews that I do one every week, as you know. Some of these boats that are fresh to the market that I do the quick reviews on, because I know they're not going to stay around for very long, the people that have clicked on my Be the First to Know will get a notification of when the review's done and when it's up and ready to watch on the website. So it's good if you're an active buyer and you're looking for sort of great opportunities that are fresh on the market. Then that's a great way of staying in touch with new things that come on the market all the time. So thanks for joining. VvS1, fantastic boat, great opportunity if you're looking to go far and wide and really use a yacht as it should be used and intended to enhance your lifestyle. Then this is a great option for you. Thanks.